All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Tonecast, simulcast video and podcast. So, wherever you are watching or listening, thank you guys so much for being a part of it. We had a little shop vacation. I think many of us were out for the week last week, and so we're back at it. We're excited for some new things that we're working on. We've got our fret rockers out. We've got an S-style build that we just released and it sold real fast. So that's exciting. We're working on our next couple builds for the guitar side of things. And yeah, there's a lot going on. So first off, how are you doing, Marco? And then we'll jump into our topic.
I'm doing good today. It's been hot around these parts, and I was just on the Oregon coast, and it was nice and cool.
Yeah.
But it was good to hang out on the beach, get a little bit of sun. I was still wearing like a black hoodie on the beach, of course, but it was good. I'm glad to be back and be doing our thing,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good to have you back. I was in late last week, and it was kind of ghost town around here. I was finishing up a couple projects and shipping some things out. We also launched the GK Drive officially this last week, and so that was really cool. The GK Drive's out. We're going to be doing a lot more content for the GK Drive and a lot of things coming up. Really, really excited about that pedal again. Kind of move production back into house, and so there's just a lot of cool things happening. So today's topic, you ready for it?
Yes.
I want to mention our pickup chooser, but I'll include a link to it. You can go find out what the pickup chooser is by clicking the link below. We'll save the infomercial for another show, but it's a great form. Fill it out. I dare you.
Yeah.
How's that?
Double dare you.
Double dare. All right. So today's topic, and this is one of the topics, give birth out in the shop, and then they grow up, and then they come into the studio and become topics. So we're building pickups, and we just talk about these random things, and we're like, oh, we should make that into a show. So that's where we're at with this one. This is the getting into our psychological gear purchasing quirks. So this can be a dangerous topic, I think. But really, this is about your feedback on the YouTube video and kind of the way you do this or the way you don't do this. So this is the watching gear. Why do we watch gear? And what are good things and bad things about watching gear? So I'm just going to turn it over to you and let you just riff on this thing. I don't think we have like a definitive answer or a right or wrong. I don't think there is a right or wrong, but let's just go on this topic for a bit and see what happens.
Yeah. We're kind of just spitballing and kind of using our own experience as kind of a guide here, and just one of those things that we're always talking about something on our watch list here or there, even though we're maybe not necessarily like needing that thing or whatever. Like we've been talking about acoustic guitars yesterday and stuff like that, but yeah, we're not really like arguing a here or there. I guess we're just kind of spitballing about it and stuff like that. I think the first thing that I thought of was like, well, maybe some people just put things on their watch list so that they don't like lose it in, all of the listings being posted and stuff. Just, you see so much stuff out there. I think people put it on their list so that they have like a little like bookmark on it. Mm-hmm. But, and I think maybe that's like the naive answer, but it's just like, I think you put something on your watch list, it means like you eventually want it to be like sitting on your lap or next to you. So it's like, that's some intention putting it on your watch list or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's something that I definitely do. And even since I was a kid and would get the musicians' friends catalogs and you're like, all right, in this column, what's the one thing that I would, you would pick, and then you would circle it or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, even back then in those early days of, before the great distraction, we were still doing the gas thing. It was just maybe we couldn't share as much. And so you didn't know that everybody else had gas or whatever.
Yeah. That's true. I remember it was like the Fender Ultimate Chorus was the stamp that I don't know if you guys remember that solid state Ultimate Chorus of the 90s. It came out, and my friend and I were like, oh, we both want it, and it's kind of like, well, one of us has to get it, and then if you get it, then I don't have to spend money on it if it stinks, kind of thing. That's kind of the way that gear stuff goes. But I've always thought about this watch list thing, and again, leave your comments below. What do you guys think about? Why do you watch stuff? I've got a few things on my Reverb watch list that have just been there forever. There's a couple pedal clones. There's a couple There's a little phase tester that we actually use in the shop, and I still have it on my watch list, even though we bought it. But it's like, oh, if I need another one, it's kind of like saved. Like, I think that's a really good thing. It's saved. Sometimes I'll see a random, like we've got the Yamaha over there, and I'll see a random guitar that within a brand that I haven't seen before, and I'll put it on the watch list because I'm not necessarily going to go grab it, but I'm like, I want to remember that guitar. So I'm not super organized in remembering gear. I'll forget something, and then even years later, I'll be like, oh, yeah, I really did like that one. I remember watching it back in the day. And obviously on eBay, it's a little different. I'll watch stuff that's like low bids, and I'll kind of keep an eye on it. And then, of course, like eBay and Reverb are both like, don't miss out, it's ending soon. And they know the gear gas, and so they're very good about making sure the email comes in at the right time, or you were outbid and you don't let it get away. Kind of it's like the devil on the shoulder thing. It's Reverb saying, hey, don't you really want that thing? And but I find there's stuff that I'm watching and I'm probably not going to buy. I'll watch like a custom shop guitar or something. I'll watch like a really expensive Tom Anderson guitar because I love Tom Anderson guitars, and I want to own it, but I'm not going to buy it at this point. But I just watch it, and then I get mad when someone else buys it. Oh, you can't have that guitar. That was my guitar. It's like, no, it wasn't my guitar because they didn't pull out my credit card and buy it. It's their guitar. So I don't know. What do you kind of do? I mean, I think you do kind of all sides of that coin, I'm sure, kind of on your Reverb watch list.
Yeah, and then there's always the moment where you find that your list is getting so big and that you kind of lose track of what's in it. I like to try and keep it like around 10 things, and if it gets more than 10, I kind of get like stimulus overload, and then I'm like, I can't focus on stuff. There's too many cool things on my watch list.
So some stuff has to go, like you're cutting. It's like the football team. You're cutting the backup quarterback kind of thing.
Yeah. And you're like,
interesting.
Sometimes stuff sells, so you're like, oh, something came off of the watch list. So you feel like some weight off your shoulders. But it is like you do make a purchase or something, and then you're kind of like, why am I watching all of this stuff? I kind of just cleared myself out. So you like go through and you like unwatch a bunch of stuff.
Okay.
And then it's funny, in like a week or two, you find that one or two of those watch things have crept back up on the list.
How does that happen?
Yeah. I don't know. For me, I think even looking back at those moments or those years when it was just the musician's friend catalog, like it is just, I think for the kind of musician or guitar player that I am, it just like relaxes me to kind of like sit there and be looking. And, nowadays with all of the e-commerce, like you can find like almost anything you want. Like if you're diligent, you can find what you want.
Yeah.
And I think that like the gas of something that you like, some sort of mythical creature, unicorn piece of gear that you want, like the gas for that is almost like twice as strong, like there's, we've all had to like move gear that we maybe didn't necessarily want to. And so some of that stuff is like on Google alerts, and you're like, when that shows up, you're kind of going to go insane a little bit. I guess I kind of got a little off track there, but
no, I think that's good. That's a really good thought. Like, yeah, continue, obviously.
Yeah, that point reminded me just of like, for one story is your Anderson, that just the situation at the time, you kind of had to like move it for like a pretty sweet deal. And I know yesterday you said that if it shows up, I'm in trouble, because I know I'm going to make just a arguably bad decision.
Yeah. Marco, I just sold the laser. I can't make any more flat work. I just sold the laser so I could buy my old Anderson back.
And be like, okay, well, yeah, we'll be fine.
We'll cut it. We'll cut the bobbins out by hand or whatever. Yeah. Oh, man. Well, let us know what you guys think of this idea of the watch list. How do you guys treat your watch lists? I mean, it's kind of a weird topic, I think, but also we're curious. Do you watch stuff, like very, very practically watch stuff? I know there's people that do the trick where you watch something on Reverb to then kind of get an offer sometimes to maybe get a better deal on something, or you watch like 10 different things of one. I know Phil McKnight says that quite often, which is pretty good advice. Watch 10 of these different new whatever guitar or pedals, and then see if you get like the best deal and then take that best deal. So that's good. That's a good way to do it. But some people just have insane watch lists, and yeah, it's kind of like, I want to remember this guitar, but then they also go away when it's sold too. So it's kind of a, you got to screenshot it, or you got to do something. So what do you guys do? How do you guys navigate the watch list? Are you like a, clean the house kind of thing, like you're mentioning, like clean the watch list out every 2 weeks? Are you a clutterer in the watch list? How do you kind of manage your watch list? So let us know in the YouTube comments below. For those on the podcast page, we'll include a link to the YouTube video for this topic, and that way you can kind of share your thoughts, because we'd love to have that discussion with you down below. And then what are you watching? What are you gassing over right now? What are things that you want that are on your watch list? And why haven't you bought them yet? I guess. Thank you guys for watching, for listening. Thanks for being a part of this. You can check us out at porterpickups.com. And again, I mentioned that pickup chooser at the beginning. That's a great form that if you need help with a set of pickups, one of us at the team here will be happy to walk you through kind of choosing those pickups and figuring out the best match for your guitar, for the tones you're after, and all that. So that's it for today. Thanks so much for being on the show and being involved in the show, and comments and a lot of great feedback. And so now we're going to go watch some stuff on Reverb.
Let's do it.
All right. See you guys.
See ya.